Olympic track and field is officially in full swing, which is why we've already found out whom the world's new fastest woman actually is. But whenever the 100-meter dash is done, it also means that the 200 is coming up shortly after it. Because to be quite honest with you, if you really are one of the fastest in the world, you're supposed to run both events. And whether or not you realize it, Julien Alfred of St. Lucia is the only woman from that 100-meter final who's entering the Olympic 200, also ranked inside the top 10 of the world this year in that event. And since we also know who is on the podium with her, we know for a fact that she's the only woman who can leave the Olympics with 2 medals in the short sprints. Olympic track and field occurred over the course of more than 10 days. That is an incredibly long track meet. So much goes down from the beginning all the way to the end that it's really hard to project events like the 200 because we don't know what's going to shake it up before it actually goes off. But now we have our answer because the 200-meter heats have actually happened. So if you have a real shot of winning a medal in that event, you should have proved it by now. That is what the heats are for. You don't have to run that fast, but you do have to let the world know that you are clearly better than the rest of the field and that the final race is the only one that matters. I don't even blame you if you missed some of the action, because the most competitive men's 100-meter final, perhaps in world history, just went down. But I'm also glad that I waited to make this video, because Shericka Jackson of Jamaica pulled out of the 200-meter dash, which is a bigger deal than most people even realize, because she's the second fastest woman in world history in that event, and the reigning world champion for the past 2 years. So now, that event is wide open. Or at least that's what most people think. So let's have a real conversation about the women's 200-meter heats, where the fastest athletes in the world have to go out and prove that they deserve a lane in that final. The same final where the entire world will be actually watching. And the only way I know how to do this is to basically go heat for heat, because win factors really don't matter that much on a 200. And when you're running qualifying rounds in that event, you're just trying to win your heat, for the most part, and do it with very little effort. And the new world's fastest woman kicked off the fireworks because Julien Alfred of St. Lucia ran 22:41 to win her heat, putting a pretty solid gap on everybody, and also reminding them that she runs the 200 as well. Now that we do not have Shericka Jackson in the field, it's time that you find out she also runs this event very well. It's why she's an NCAA champion, and on top of that, was in the World Championship final. So yes, she could win this gold as well. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. But the reigning world silver medalist and the fastest woman in the world this year is Gabby Thomas. And she went out in Heat 2 and did the exact same thing. She actually ran a little bit faster, putting a gap on her field. That is the same field with Nisha Berger of Jamaica and Mujinga Kambunji of Switzerland, who was in the women's 100-meter final behind her. And Daryl Nita of Great Britain finished 4th in the 100-meter dash, but she came back to win her 200-meter heat convincingly. So yes, she is also a threat to not only make the final, but leave it with a medal. But a woman who can mess all that up is Mackenzie Long of America, because she won her 200-meter heat in 22:55. But the time really doesn't matter that much, because she was the world's fastest woman in 2024 for most of the outdoor season, which is why she dominated the NCAA wire to wire. I'm not saying that she's definitely gonna win a medal, but what I am saying is you're gonna have to run 21-something if you want to keep her off the podium. Yet Brittany Brown, who is also American, took care of business as well. She won her heat convincingly in 22:38, and she did that over Lene Thomas of Jamaica. Brittany Brown is one of the most underrated sprinters in the entire world, and I admit that I owe her an apology because I have slept on her more than once, but I'm definitely not making that mistake again. Yet the final heat was clearly the most competitive, because Favor Ophelia of Nigeria and Dina Asher-Smith of Great Britain basically went down to the line running 22:24 and 22:28. As far as I'm concerned, they both belong in the final, where your guess is just as good as mine on how it's going to play out between these races and the final. we have the repechage rounds and the semifinals. But if you have a legitimate shot at winning a medal, you probably should have shown us at least a few of your cards by now, which is why I feel comfortable telling you who I believe is going to win. It really comes down to two women, Gabby Thomas of America and Julien Alfred of St. Lucia. And it ain't just because it's the obvious choice. They both took care of business in their heats and made it look like it wasn't all that hard. But they also come into the event with more momentum than anybody else, because Julien Alfred is the Olympic gold medalist in the 100 now. That gives you a whole bunch of steam going forward. And Gabby Thomas was the world's fastest woman in 2024 in this event. But that's not all. She's also the World Championship silver medalist from last year. And the woman who won the gold is no longer in this race. Both of them have to believe that this gold medal is going to be their gold medal. And I'm a legitimate fan of both. But if I have to make a choice, I guess I'm going with Julien Alfred, because she's going to be way out in front in that final race. And it's going to be really hard for anybody to come get her. So congratulations to all the women who will be moving on during the rounds, because the 200-meter medals are definitely up for grabs. But now, everyone in the world knows who exactly you need to beat if you want to get one. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.